Michael Borky, and QB1, Will Rogers, Mississippi State University. I had a whole line of questionings. I knew exactly what I wanted to ask you, and then Woody screwed that up for you because he said, I asked him about you and what we're going to do here in the offense, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, Will's the runner. He talked about the running ability of Will Rogers. Tell me all about it.
I mean, hey, word on the street is I'm faster than Woody now.
Oh, hashtag athlete is what we're going to say.
Hashtag dual threat.
Yes. Yes. You're going to put a lot of myths to bed if you can come out there. If I see Will Rogers 15 carries for 87 yards, I'm going to be like, okay.
I might be like that too.
I'm going to throw a label at you. It's 2 words. I know you don't like it. System quarterback.
I love it.
You do love it. Tell me why.
Because it's wrong.
Okay.
And I'm about to have a chance to prove a lot of people wrong and why they say that. So
when you hear that label, when people say, well, oh, he's a system quarterback, a lot of coaches will tell you that everybody's a system quarterback. You know, you can't just put Tom Brady into the wishbone and say, go ahead. You have to sort of fit everybody's strengths, and that's what being a system quarterback is about. For you in this system, in the Kevin Barbay offense, does that play to your strengths?
Does what play to my strengths?
Does this offense play to your strengths?
Oh, no, absolutely. I think Coach Barbay's done a really good job, but I think it's a credit to Coach Barbay. I think he's done a really good job of, seeing the personnel that we have here at Mississippi State with this team and this offense. And I think Coach Barbay's done a really good job of, finding ways to get our best players the ball, whether it be, jet motion, taking a shot downfield, getting into the right drop back pass. I think he's done a really, really good job of, seeing our strengths and then, putting in his offense based off our strengths.
Kind of a broad question. What is the biggest difference between the system that you were running and this new one with Barbay?
I'd probably say terminology. With Coach Leach, it was kind of like, Ace 95, that's our play. Now it's going to be a whole sentence, for our play. So, I had to really, dedicate myself and, really learn the terminology. All the West Coast, the pro terminology, it's all in the NFL. So, I spent a lot of my time, January, February, March, just learning that. So that was probably the biggest transformation for me.
For you, tight ends in this offense, 2 backs sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And when's the last time you took a snap under center?
I've taken 1 snap before spring ball.
Right.
We did some spring ball. But before that, I've taken 1 snap under center in high school, and it was to QB sneak out of my own end zone.
I made the comment earlier today. It's like Mississippi State hasn't taken a snap under center since Dan Mullen left. I mean, that was 2017.
Yeah, because
Moorhead didn't do it either.
Yeah, when I was getting recruited by Coach Moorhead, they were telling me, like, we'll knee from shotgun.
Yeah.
Too. So
yeah.
How long does it take you to learn how to do that? I mean, it seems simple, right? But is it as simple as just taking the ball?
I mean, you can't learn how to perfectly do it in 5 minutes. It's something it'll take a little. It takes reps. But once you do it, I mean, it's not rocket science here.
Because I played quarterback in middle school.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
High school
I dropped the snap all the time, and my coach was like, Why can't you do this?
And
like,
that's why
so
they moved
easy.
him to guard.
I played linebacker, tough linebacker.
You can't be shy now. You got to get up under there.
You got to have an intimate relationship.
You
with your
will
center.
be really, really close with your center. So Cole Smith, our center,
Yeah.
First time we're taking under center snaps in spring ball, he goes, "Hey, last person up under there was Joe Burrow. You got
a lot to live up to.
You got some big shoes to fill." I said, "Yeah, I hope I have a season like he did."
I think Mississippi State would take that. I'll be honest with you. When you look at this team, and I was talking to Woody about this, about expectations. They're not high for Mississippi State outside of y'all's locker room. I'm sure you guys have high expectations. I think sometimes it gets overblown, the idea of, the media saying we'll put a chip on our shoulder. You guys don't hear that noise, do you?
Nah, and, with all due respect to, you guys. And,
we don't
deserve any respect whatsoever.
Well, no, seriously, I mean, respectable to the outside world and things like that. The only thing we care about is the guys in that locker room and in that building. We don't care what a whole lot of other people say. And, I think that's one of the strengths of our team. We're a veteran team with a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. So, we understand that we're kind of going to be slept on every single year. So we kind of just let that, roll off our back. And, but at the same time, we do hear it. And, we want to play with a chip on our shoulder at Mississippi State. You know, we think that's what makes us special, and we think that makes us tough to beat on Saturdays. We think so.
You mentioned the veteran nature of your team, but you do have some portal guys as well. What do you do as a leader when a guy comes in via transfer portal, not a typical recruit, a freshman, it's a guy that's played college football for a while? Do you not give them special attention, but what's that transition for them like when they enter your locker room? Do you do anything different to kind of make them acclimate into your team as part of your team? What's that like?
I mean, it's different, man. You know, when I came in here, you know, the transfer portal was a thing, but it definitely wasn't as big as it is now. So, no, like my sophomore year, you know, I'm trying to show freshmen how we do things at Mississippi State. Well, now I'm trying to show guys my age how we do things at Mississippi State. So, I mean, it's been a different challenge, but you know, I think, you know, as a leader, whether it be myself or, you know, Cromedy, Woody, Buki, Jet, whoever it may be, you know, I think you just kind of have to, you know, lead by example. You know, you don't have to always kind of talk and, you know, get on guys like that. You know, I think you just kind of lead by example and just show them how we do things at Mississippi State and how we work.
When you go back to last season, how important was that Egg Bowl win?
I mean, it's the biggest win that I've had at Mississippi State, probably. Not statistically or anything like that, but you know, anytime you can beat your arch rival at their place, it's a huge win. So, you know, we've won once in the last 3 years. So, you know, obviously not the record we won against those guys, but you know, to end the season like that and to get a win by any means necessary was huge for our program.
You have a very interesting schedule this year. 8 home games, so that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the 4 road games are what guys like us would call toss-up games. South Carolina, Texas A&M,
Okay.
Arkansas, Auburn. You've had success against those teams. You beat Arkansas last year. You've beaten A&M twice, beaten Auburn twice in a row. But those are tough games to win on the road. When you look at this schedule and you think about it week to week, are you excited about the opportunities there, or do you think, man, this is going to be a difficult challenge? Or is it a little both?
No, man, I think you have to be excited about that. You know, I mean, I was telling somebody the other day, it might have been Chris Parson, our freshman quarterback, who's a really, really good player. He's going to be a great player someday. But I was telling him, I think good teams can win at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think great teams can go on the road and beat the same team that they beat at home, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be able to play anywhere, anytime. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, great teams find a way to do it on the road. So, you know, it's obviously going to be a huge challenge for, you know, our team this year. You know, like I said, 8 home games for us, that's incredible. But, you know, to be able to go steal a few on the road, maybe like some of y'all would say the toss-up or whatever.
Right.
But, you know, we're looking forward to those games.
On that note, veteran player, obviously, played in a bunch of road environments. What's the most difficult road game you've played so far?
Difficult from like a hearing.
Atmosphere,
noise,
that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think A&M, man. You know,
Really?
I think LSU was great. You know, tremendous atmosphere, and we ended up losing that game. But you know, I think Texas A&M, my sophomore year. I mean, I think you talked to Woody and some of the guys that were on the field. You know, in that last drive or two, and I mean, I remember yelling the play at Woody from me to you, yelling, and he couldn't hear me.
How do you operate offense when it's like that? I mean, what do you do?
I had to signal him to play from me to you.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
So it's something. I mean, when you're out there, you're not really thinking about it because you're so your adrenaline's pumping. You're thinking about the game, thinking about the play. But, you know, looking back on it, I was just like, man, I could not hear a dang thing.
Will, I know the answer before because I know you. And if I ask you about records, you're going to say the only record I care about is win-loss.
Mm-hmm.
But you know as well as I do that you have a great chance to become the all-time leading passer in the Southeastern Conference, which I talked about that earlier. What a thing. Imagine saying that 5 years ago and thinking that not just you, but a Mississippi State quarterback was going to be the all-time leading passer in the SEC. It was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Does that record hold some meaning for you? Do you want that record?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think if I got up here in front of you and say I didn't want it, I'd be lying through my teeth. But
I was expecting the coach speak, though. I was expecting, it doesn't matter, and yeah.
I mean, my dad told me a long time ago, with team success, individual success will come. So, you know, I think if we go out there and we compete every single week, week in and week out, then, you know, records will come and other things will come. But, you know, I think my job is to, you know, get this team ready to play every single week. So that's my job as quarterback. If we go out there and go 1-0 every single week, I've done my job as a quarterback.
That was good coach speak there. 1-0 every single week.
Nailed that part.
Very, very good. Will Rogers, Mississippi State quarterback.